Welcome to Big Brothers Big Sisters TV. I'm your host, Rod Jacobs, and happy summertime. This episode, we chat with Curtis Wallace, owner and operator of B Creative Studios. Curtis chats with us about some summer fun. Jen's Take discusses prevention versus community building, and we give thanks to our community who are advocating for change in our gratitude segment. First, we want you to get involved. Check out bbbswashtenaw.org/give or on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn at bbbswashtenaw. Also, click that like button below and share us with your family and friends. Get out your calendars because we want you to mark it for September 13th. It's our big little telethon from 5 to 8 p.m. So write that in there, put it in your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use because we want to see you at the big little telethon. This week, we are starting with the quote of the show. So let me welcome Lindsay Tregenza, our mentoring specialist. Lindsay, this is something new for us. We wanted to start with the quote this time, and you found a great one to get us going. Tell us your quote.
Thank you, Rod. My quote that I chose for this week is, we cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but we can change ourselves.
So what made you pick this quote?
I picked this quote because it speaks about resiliency and responsibility.
What I loved about it was the change ourselves. And, you always hear, to make the change in the world that you want to see, we got to change inside first. And what better quote than that with the world that we're dealing with today, would you say?
Definitely, I would agree with that, yes.
So that's a great quote and really appreciate it. Before we let you go, Lindsay, summer is right around the corner. We're starting to feel the good temperatures. What do you got planned for the summer?
Probably just going up north, the usual Michigan stuff, going to the cottage, hitting up a lake.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you.
Welcome to the website chat. Our guest today is Curtis Wallace, owner and operator of the B Corporation and B Creative Studios. He has 23 years of teaching experience. He's also an artist, designer, illustrator, yoga instructor, as well as a husband and father. Welcome to the show, Curtis.
Hey, hi, everybody.
So, Curtis, tell us a bit about the B Corporation and the B Creative Studios.
It's, long story short, it is a manifestation of, some my kid dreams becoming this real thing as an adult. The B Corp is a inspirational apparel company I created when I started my journey in yoga. Just giving myself these, inspiring adjectives to help me along each day as I hit obstacles physically and mentally along the way. I've been doing and drawing and studying art and people for a large portion of my life. So I said, I'm going to start doing art with the company. The company was about to fold over, and I decided that was a proper time to introduce myself to the life of entrepreneurship. And the sort of be creative. One day I was just, thinking about the next step because I've been working with Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti public schools for a majority of my life, over 20 plus years. And I just decided I wanted to spend, the second half of my life working for myself and showing my kids that, if you actually dream about something, you can make it happen. And look up today, I am probably more busy now that I have stopped working with schools, than ever. And I actually work more with the community and closely with the community than I ever did when I was on my last days with Ann Arbor Public Schools. Yeah, it was great.
You touched on a couple things that I think are really important to our viewers, especially the littles. Two things: entrepreneurship. So, firstly, tell us about that experience, or and I've worked in banking, and I've had to work with a lot of small business owners,
Mhm.
and there seems to be this one thread that once you get over that fear,
Mhm.
everything
Yeah.
moves in a certain direction. So tell us a bit about that entrepreneurship journey that you had, and what was that defining moment that just pushed you over that edge?
It was honestly, for me, it was, I'm in my, early 40s, and I'm just at that cycle of life where friends have children who are graduating, and we're in this cycle where also we're being reminded of time and how valuable it is. So, life is being taken around me, and I'm noticing, every day when I leave this 9 to 5 job, I would spend another, 8 hours staying up, working on this thing that I had been, going to school for and working for since I was 10 years old. And finally, I, I think I saw something or read something. You know how the universe will give you signs if you're looking for them. You know,
Yes.
and I'm always looking for them. And I saw this sign, and it was, something about, taking control of your life. And I first day of Ann Arbor Public Schools, I couldn't even walk into the building. I would get this feeling like this, almost like something was either pulling me away from the door or pushing me away, because I knew I was onto something. Because I know we're in a time where everybody needs positivity. So I was like, I got this company that's talking all about positivity, and I got this, how can we create new creative ways to be positive? And this Be Creative Studio just kind of came. Danny she was working with me for a while, and had some great ideas and just merged them. And she by part like helped me get the early stages of discipline to just take charge and go. It was just really time and fear. I had just realized that fear wasn't a real thing if I turned around, and time is, right. We don't know how much we have of it, and we don't know when it is over. So I just was like, I'm gonna just use all of it up, as best I can, and utilize and just push toward this dream, because I know it's not infinite. You know what I mean?
It's I love how you talk about that that time as a bit of a motivator. But the other thing that you mentioned was your passion, and
Yeah.
how that passion helped you with some mental and emotional things. Tell us a bit about the power and the impact of following your passion to helping with some of those holistic things that we're all dealing with.
Yeah. I tell you what, if it weren't for the passion that I have for this thing, um, I wouldn't keep getting the positive responses. I have realized in my age and my wisdom, that that not everyone is passionate about a thing. And how passion has helped me is it's helped me um, ask more questions, right? Because I'm realizing the more questions I have to ask, there's people who are willing to feed passion, because they know it is so sparse, and they know that there's not many people who will risk a lot for this passion. And I'm finding that the more and more I stay sort of steadfast to this feeling, this vibration, um, the more I'm starting to get the same vibration that's attracted to me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And when I think about what you're describing there, and you're talking about that passion, it's obviously led you to this great company that you've got going on, where you're doing some fun things in the community. Tell us a bit about those fun things you've got going on.
Oh my goodness. Um, I would not be able to do a lot of this stuff without the support of my community. That's first off. I just need to say that. I am currently working with United STEM, not United STEM, United STEM in Ypsilanti. And we're just trying to right now do some yoga stuff before the pandemic hit. But we have recently spoke about doing some virtual art and even some virtual yoga will be in the works. I'm also working on a project with a guy named Rod Wallace, which I thought you might have been.
You don't meet too many rods, right?
Yeah, I'm like, so what's cool is he's got my last name and you've got his first name. So I just see it signs like that. But
it's a really good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's one of the directors of music and arts. And I know I'm not getting it right, so I apologize if this gets up there. But he's such an amazing human being that he's got me in this virtual drawing 101 class with teenagers, and I'm also working and having virtual drawing classes. This is now my second session, our seventh week, with Educate Youth 501c in Ypsilanti. And Danny's doing some drawing summer camps through the Be Creative Studio. And really, I want to say this. I'm inviting anybody to you who has this talent, this thing that they want to be, to come to me and use my platform to get classes and whatever steam I may have, or people I may have connections to use, and the Be Creative Studio, the B itself. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna put it right here. That little B right there. I made it a B because I think the bee pollinates these things that directly feed us, right? These plants, these fruit, they pollinate us. I'm trying to metaphorically speak to my community through even this clothing line. And since we're here saying that, I'm also trying to get a beekeeper locally so that when someone buys a class or buys some apparel, that I can take a percentage and actually help cultivate and keep bees alive so that they can continue to feed us and help, with the clothes that we wear and the foods we eat and the things we drink, so we can literally be saving ourselves. So when we are learning these art classes, not only are we learning a thing, we're actually feeding our communities. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I just want to let our viewers know we're putting your website into our post right now. So if you want to see how to connect with Curtis and all of the great things he's got going on, it's just right down below. We'd love to, connect with him. Curtis, it's been amazing to chat with you and hear your inspirations and your passions about what you're doing. So we really thank you for joining us on Big Brothers Big Sisters TV.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys. It's been a pleasure. The Be Creative Studio, the Beware. I hope to see you. If I don't, and I'll say it everywhere and every time until I see you again, I want you to be well, be safe, be great, and be creative. Peace.
Welcome to Jen's Take, where every bi-weekly we have a chat with Jen, and she shares her insights on many different things. And this week, we're going to look at community building and what that means from a Big Brothers Big Sisters perspective. Welcome, Jen.
Thanks, Rod, for having me again today.
So, as we approach the topic, we've had some discussions internally about what community building is about. And tell us from your perspective, being with Big Brothers Big Sisters for 18 years, how our mission aligns with building a strong community.
So I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple of weeks, maybe the last month or so, thinking about the work we do, thinking about how we connect in the community. And just in this last week, I actually had on one of my Big Brothers Big Sisters shirts on the other day. And it was the one that I got at the national conference last year. And it says, Ignite, Empower, Defend Potential. And that's our new branding. So the year before last, our national organization went through a complete rebrand. New logo, new fonts, new colors, and that new tagline. Um, when I first started at Big Brothers Big Sisters, our tagline was "Little Moments, Big Magic." I loved it. I really did. It encapsulated kind of what we do. It's the little moments that create this long lasting impact. But it's kind of mystical and touchy feely and not super tangible. But then in about 20, I think 12, we transitioned to Start Something, which was neither of those things. It wasn't mystical and it was not tangible, at least from my perspective. And I never thought it really defined for our stakeholders what we do. But I absolutely love Ignite, Empower, and Defend Potential. I think it really defines who we are and what we do here at Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so I was breaking it down, kind of thinking about it, more specifically, and that igniting potential piece. We know that every young person is just full, right, of possibility. They have dreams for their future, what they want to be when they grow up. Some want to be artists, some want to be teachers, some want to be NBA stars, and some don't know yet, and that's okay. But when we match these young folks with a big, they get to explore those sparks together, right? They get to spend time as an adult listening, having conversations. You're really good at this, or this really seems to make you happy. That allows that young person to kind of be affirmed and feel like, oh, there's something here, right? Like they get that feeling. When that connection happens. The second piece is empowering potential. And I went and looked up the definition of empower because I really wanted to think about this kind of so tangibly, right? The definition of empower is to make someone stronger and more confident, especially in controlling their life and claiming their rights. So, how does a big do this? Well, first, they show up consistently and ensure that that young person knows they matter. And then they explore those sparks, right? They're not only kind of igniting something, but they're empowering it through exploring that with the young person, talking to them about how can you be successful in this way, reflecting on failures, guiding them through hard situations, answering questions, and helping them find their voice. And how I really thought about that is they walk the walk, right? First, we listen and we affirm, and then we walk the walk with young folks. And then finally, defending potential. We can't listen, we can't affirm, and we cannot walk the walk without seeing that there are challenges for young people. And in defending their potential, I think that it's our job as adults to work to remove the barriers that are there for success, those things that make that dream impossible or seem impossible to a young person. Doing the things that can break that down and build up a young person really by kind of defending what's inside them, what we know is inside them. I've always thought about our work as prevention work. I've said that many times over the last 18 years. We're a prevention program, not an intervention program. We prevent bad things from happening through mentorship. And I've realized as someone who really is a glass half full person, that positioning is so glass half empty. And that really has hit me in the last couple of weeks, trying to think about what we do and how it impacts the young people that we work with. And what that came to for me was community building, right? We build community. When we match a big and a little together, many times coming from different neighborhoods or different perspectives, different cultures, religions, backgrounds. It's really a learning environment for everyone. Young folks teach us so much, older folks teach us so much. And when we learn and grow together, we create these strong relationships. And I think that relationship that happens between a big and a little and their families creates this weave, right? It weaves two people's lives together, and it creates a strength and a perspective that comes from broadening your thinking, growing together. And I think that it truly allows the individuals, our community, and our society to just move forward in a healthy way. So I hope that all of you that are listening to this today can really think about that and think about what building community looks like for you. For us, it's about putting two people together and creating something that will outlast their time with us. We hope those memories, what they learned from each other, and the relationship that they have together. And join us. We have lots of kids on the wait list, just waiting for someone to walk that walk with them and help them really realize their full potential.
Well, it's time for our gratitude segment, and we have Danny Murphy joining us. Danny, you had a great experience that happened about a week ago. Tell us a bit about that experience.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get to attend the Black Lives Matter protest downtown Ypsi on the 20th. And I had to really get up the courage to go just with everything else going on, but I'm so happy that I made the decision to go. It was just a very moving experience. Everyone, like all colors, all ages, all creeds, just very peacefully supporting our friends with Black and brown skin, and it was really incredible. I think my favorite moment was one woman whose name I've actually been trying to find. She was really quiet in the beginning and I missed her name, but she sang Stand By Me, and it was so beautiful. Her voice was so beautiful, the way it carried over the crowd, and then the crowd started singing with her and I started crying. It was really incredible.
So some people might be asking, well, how is that? How does gratitude fit in with what we're talking about? Well, part of gratitude is we're thankful for those that are exhibiting the values that we believe in, which is inclusion. And how important is it for Big Brothers Big Sisters to highlight and show thanks to all those people that are looking to make that change?
I think it's very important. I mean, at Big Brothers Big Sisters, we are all about relationships and relationships that support one another. And, we say our littles are full of limitless potential, but really that expands to our community and humanity as a whole. We are full of limitless potential. And sometimes you need a little guidance and a little mentorship to get there and a little support, but we all get by with a little help from our friends. And I think that this is a very exciting time to watch what's going on and very, very applicable to our mission.
So during this rally, did you take your family with you?
I thought about it, and in the end, I did not. But I actually regretted it because there were so many kids down there, and it was really great to see the younger people being a part of it. So I will definitely take them to the next one.
How did that make you feel when you look back at that, the entire day or the time of the rally? How did it feel inside? You talked about the Stand By Me, but seeing all these people get together for change and support of people of color, and tell me how that made you feel.
Yeah, I would say it felt real. You watch it on the news and you hear about it, and you get excited about it, and you hope that this is going to mean like real change finally. Well, it's way overdue. But being a part of it and standing in that moment, it felt more real, and I was more motivated and really excited about what was going on, and so happy to be a part of it. And again, just moved by the peaceful, quiet support of everyone standing there.
Perfect. Well, I really appreciate you joining us, Danny.
Thanks.
That's a wrap on our Be Prepared for Summer episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you to our special guest, Curtis Wallace, the B Corporation, and B Creative Studios. Thanks to Lindsay, Danny, and Jen for joining us as well. We also want to thank our amazing Bigs, Littles, families, donors, and our board members. Remember to mark your calendars for the Big Little Telethon happening September 13th from 5 to 8 p.m. Before we go, click that like button and share us with your friends and family. Check out bbbswashtenaw.org/give or on social media at bbbswashtenaw. Join us Tuesday, July 21st for more Big Brothers Big Sisters TV. I'm Rod Jacobs signing off. Have a great summer and stay safe.